Tonight's story is one of tragedy, mystery, and the limits of our legal system when faced with extreme mental illness. It's the story of Austin Harrouff, a once ordinary young man whose descent into psychosis led to one of the most disturbing crimes in recent Florida history, and a court decision that continues to spark debate. It's also a rather gory and especially hard to listen to case. On August 15th, 2016, 19-year-old Austin Harrouff was a sophomore at Florida State University, known to some as a promising student and athlete. But in the days and hours leading up to that August night in Martin County, Florida, those who knew him say his behavior became increasingly erratic, delusional, and frightening. His close friends and family weren't terribly concerned at first. They kind of shrugged it off as a normal college student who was rather sleep deprived. Until later that day, things became increasingly worse to the point where reports surfaced of bizarre internet searches, hallucinations, and a disturbing belief that he was somehow half human, half horse. That night, Harrouff left his parents' home, wandering the streets in a state of apparent disorientation. He entered the garage of John Stevens III and Michelle Mishcon, which was a seemingly random home to Austin. And without any sign of him being provoked, he attacked them with a knife and tools found in the garage. A neighbor who rushed to help was also injured. When police arrived, they found Harrouff on top of John Stevens, biting his face and abdomen. Officers had to use a taser to subdue him. In a chilling detail, Harrouff allegedly admitted to eating human flesh at the scene, and police could hear what sounded like Stevens' flesh being ripped from his body. The brutality of this double homicide shocked the community and drew intense media attention. But this was not just a violent crime. It was a question that would challenge legal and psychiatric boundaries. Was this murderous intent or a catastrophic psychotic break? Psychologists who examined Harrouff concluded that at the time of the killings, he was actively in an acute psychotic episode, influenced by diagnosed bipolar I disorder with psychotic features. The shift in his behavior was abrupt and alarming, suggesting that Harrouff was not in a rational state of mind when he carried out the attacks on Michelle and John. That assessment set the stage for a pivotal legal decision. On November 28th, 2022, after years of legal proceedings, Martin County Circuit Judge Sherwood Barr ruled that Harrouff was not guilty by reason of insanity. The judge concluded that at the moment of the crime, Harrouff lacked the ability to understand the nature of his actions or to know what he was doing was wrong. Instead of a traditional prison sentence, Harrouff was placed into the care of the Florida Department of Children and Families, a path focused on treatment rather than punishment. And as of 2023, it was reported that he had moved to the Florida State Hospital in Chattahoochee, where he would receive long-term psychiatric care. The verdict and its aftermath reignited intense discussion about how the justice system should handle cases where mental illness plays a central role in violent crime. The case of Austin Harrouff forces us to confront uncomfortable questions. When does accountability end and treatment begin? How do we as a society balance compassion with justice for victims and community safety? And how do we ensure that individuals struggling with severe psychiatric disorders receive the help they need before tragedy strikes? And those questions can only be answered by professionals or those in the justice system. This case is a rather gruesome and gory one that seems to be something that's pretty out of the ordinary from what true crime cases typically are nowadays. Feel free to discuss your thoughts and comments and let me know what you think.